at Educational Freedom Institute, Corey DeAngelis, and senior editor at Post Millennial and New York Times bestselling author of Unmasked: Inside Antifa's Radical Plan to Destroy Democracy, Andy Ngo. Gentlemen, welcome to you both. Corey, I want to begin with you. In red and blue states, the unhinged and violent left has infected GovEd. Their TDS was bad enough. Now they're normalizing political violence and assassinations, and these people have access to our kids. How do everyday Americans purge this cancer, do you think?
I mean, it's insane. We need to dismantle the teachers' unions once and for all. This is starting at the very top. You look at Randi Weingarten. She just released a new book yesterday called, quote unquote, Why Fascists Fear Teachers. And on the first page, on the first line, she invokes Adolf Hitler already. So you have this divisive rhetoric. They're ripping our country apart, and they're basically saying that their political opponents are equivalent to Hitler and fascist. And Randi Weingarten also shared a post the other day that she later deleted, where she said the post basically was pushing this false flag conspiracy theory that it was a quote-unquote right-winger that assassinated Charlie Kirk, and there's zero evidence for that. No. If anything, the evidence points to the opposite. So it's just crazy. We have the unions, and also the NEA, the largest union in the country. They passed at their summer convention earlier this year a resolution to call President Trump a fascist. So this rhetoric needs to stop, and a lot of these people getting fired are teachers.
Yes, and they have been grooming our children in this regard for decades now, since President Trump came down that escalator. Andy, even in my home state of Texas, an alleged conservative state, Republicans have forced us to fund this violent movement. Nearly 300 so-called teachers are under investigation as you and I are speaking, because of the rhetoric that they had put out there about Charlie Kirk's assassination. If this is happening in a red state like Texas, I shudder to think what's happening in the People's Republic of California and GovEd.
You know, I've been tracking what Antifa have been saying and writing in response to the assassination. Obviously, they were celebrating. But they've also now, particularly from one Antifa group in Oregon, they published an after-action report looking at the days following the assassination. And they're actually quite concerned about the unity on the American right. They're concerned that groups of conservatives who weren't politically active before have become quite, you could say, motivated or activated to get involved, such as school children or families. And this is a point of concern for them, and they're discussing ways to try to break up that unity, and they discuss different tactics to divide and conquer. So this pushback that we're seeing on people being educators who have said horrific things, I think, you know, beyond the conversation about if that's the right tactic or not, the other side sees it, and they're actually afraid.
Yes, yes, they undertake violence and assassinations. Our side goes to church, right? And they're afraid of it. Turning Point USA posting on X, quote, as of this afternoon, in the past 6 days, Talking Points USA has received 54,000 plus requests from high school and college students nationwide to start a chapter or get involved with an existing chapter. This is just the beginning. End quote. Corey, Charlie Kirk had a lifetime goal of 20,000 chapters across the country, and this could be more than doubled now. I don't think the left fully grasps what they've unleashed here. Do you?
No, they've awakened a sleeping giant. And so this is great news that Turning Point's seeing a surge in support, mobilizing the base and having so many people backing Charlie Kirk. Yes, we've seen a lot of the division from the left and people celebrating his death, but I think that is far outshined by the good that will come from this, as in terms of people rallying behind Charlie Kirk and seeing that what a good man he was and what a great debater he was, and the greatness that he did for our country. I will just say that Randi Weingarten needs to resign in disgrace for her divisive rhetoric. And the teachers' unions who are saying that this is, you know, they need to have their free speech. Anybody can have their free speech, and you can post anything that you want and say whatever you want. But employers also have freedom of association. And so if you're going to say disgusting things, you don't deserve a job at teaching young, impressionable minds.
Right. In the private sector, they're firing people for having that view. So in government, should we accept people who are trying to normalize political violence? Andy, you've been exposing deviants, extremists, and violent counterculture cultists for years. what was once on the fringe, as I said, has infected everything. Entertainment, sports, yes, government. In your view, does the current Republican Party have the awareness, willingness, or ability to expunge this malevolent insurgency in government?
If there's a silver lining, you could say, in the days after the assassination, it would be that a lot of people got to see the sociopathy that exists on a large faction of the left, and not just on the far left, obviously, but amongst those who are in white-collar positions, in positions of influence on children, in government, etc. And I hope that the lesson that's taken away from that is we are so beyond cancel culture right now. We are dealing with an assassination culture, so wake up to it.
Amen. Amen. Corey DeAngelis and Andy No, thank you very much. We have got to pivot away from an assassination culture. Absolutely. Still ahead, folks, after the political assassination of Charlie Kirk, the left has only